sticking it up. Yeah, and they've come on board just to help us out. It's been really good because it's been one of those places in the hometown that have been able to back us. And it's been really nice to have people who believe in us that are from our local area that can see the big picture of what's going on with what we're doing. It's awesome. So pretty much I spoke with Alan, he's the general manager there, and the other guy I've been speaking to is Tim Starr. He's one of my mates that I've known for a long time, but he's also fairly high up there as well. So he's the one that's been driving a lot of it and getting all the stuff sorted out for us, and it's been cool working with them. But the car itself, I've drove it to Glenbourne, to Clarence, and now I've driven it all the way down here, which is the better part of a 15-hour drive, and it's just like driving a car. Like, the ability of a ute drives like a car. It's comfortable, it's easy to drive, it's plenty safe, it's got everything you need in it safety-wise as well, but even towing the boat, you wouldn't even know what was behind Yeah, so the car, the D-Max, is super comfortable. Like I said, I've been driving it for probably been on the road just by myself for now over 30-something hours, so put a few Ks on it too, but we've been able to get it out on the dirt roads and go everywhere we need to. Any boat ramp we've been to has never been a problem. It's just been the perfect vehicle all around.
There's an old cow on here.
Did you get that? Oh my god, where's the punchline? You look what's hanging there.
I'm out. Bill, can you give me a drink?
I'll get you a beer.
Thanks.
Hey Cat, that's all we got.
Oh well, that'll have to do.
Yeah, so the Alliance FS Elite is what I've got on mine. It's the 9-inch. I've got that strapped in the middle on a swivel mount so I can turn it around when we stop, and then I can have it there sitting in the right spot when we're driving around. It's got built-in maps, which you'll ask every other guy, and they always have to load their maps in, make sure they've got the right ones for where they're going. I literally just turn it on, pull up the map of where I'm at, and the map's already there. Don't have to load it at all, which is brilliant. It's got side scan, it's got down scan, it's got fish reveal, it's got everything you need in it, and it's just been so easy to use. It just makes everything just so simple. All at a touch of a button, set up your screens exactly how you want it. So if you want down scan on one side and you want your maps on the other, like here at Mulwala, we've got the Navionics card it shows you everything that's going on. So we've got that up on the screen all the time. But if I was at another dam that I knew a bit better, then I'd just be running usually side scan and down scan for what I need to do. But it's just so easy, all a touch of a button, and everything's touch screen too, which makes it super simple.
So one of our plans today obviously is to upgrade our Yellas. Later on, when the sun comes up bright, I'll probably change over, but at the moment just using the a willow blade, standard large willow blade on black and gold colour. No trailer hooks obviously because there's so many stumps in here. Bassman have a huge range. I do have a favourite down here for when I'm fishing the really skinny water, which is a through weight, so a TW, so the weight's in the skirt itself, the willow blades, and you can roll that through the thickest of thick weed, So a lot of people only use these for bass, but that is a Mulwala special. When we're throwing for the bigger fish, obviously the 4x4 pumps a lot of water. With all those swinging Colorados, it's very hard to wind back, so you can throw it on a fairly solid rod, but it's a big profile lure, and the cod actually, you know, engulf these. So that'll get a fair run today. They're all out ready to go. But to upgrade the yellows, yeah, we're going to just continually pepper the edges of the weed. So we've been searching for clumps of weed for the yellows, and when we find them, we're just throwing the Bassman spinnerbaits in and around that weed, and the yellows are coming out and engulfing them. So yeah, I've been using Tonic for many years now. I was actually lucky enough at Boondooma to win a comp. I had some tonics in it and fell in love with them, and I've used them for a long time.
Yeah, so I've got the Tonic Outbacks. I just found the frame to be much more suited to my face.
I'm very hard on my gear and tend to have sort of one pair of sunglasses for everything.
As far as it goes, you're wearing them all day. And if you don't have a set of sunnies that are comfortable to wear all day, then there's no point having them on your face. But the other thing is you can put on any pair of sunnies you like, but when you put on these and see what these lenses do when you're looking into the water, it just changes the whole day.
But with Tonic coming on with the Bluefin fishing team this year, I was able to get several different pairs, and it's the first time I've been able to afford it. But to have low light, so we've got a low light situation at the moment, I change my sunnies to low light lenses. I have the normal sunnies for the bright day, and then I've got another pair that I work with at home. So when I'm doing the brush cutting and stuff like that at home, you tend to get a few stone chips in them. So having I've got crystal clear glasses for my fishing, and out here when you're fishing 2-3 feet of water, you really need that polarized. And with the lens that Tonic has, they're just so clear and you can see every stump, and just helps for your fishing.
It's much easier on your eyes. These are the blue photochromic lenses. So these cut out all the glare on the super sunny days and just make it really easy to see everything in the water. No, super comfortable, really light too, so you don't even know you've got them on all day. But yeah, Doug's come on board with us from Tonic, which was amazing. He's been helping us out, so I've been in touch with him pretty regularly, and he's really happy with everything that's going on, and it's really good to have someone that's got such a quality product that's happy to be on board with us and sees the potential in what we're doing here.
Man, struggling for a bite. Maybe I'll chuck some scent on.
That's not the right stuff. Kev, do you want to grab the special sauce out of the side there?
Make sure we keep this one a secret, boys.
Yes.
All right, let's go with audio. That's why I asked for a thumbs up. We got some audio. We've got ears. We've got everyone on there yelling at me. No sound, can't hear. It proves that you're all paying attention. So let's check that the audio is working. Hope they've clicked the right buttons. Look at that. Yep, everyone's on. That's good. All right. So, tonight we have Adrian Wilson on. We're going to talk about Bass Electrics, and that ties into our Allicraft brand ambassador. We have our third finalist. So we're going to announce who wins the boat on next week's show. And Brodie McNeish is our third finalist, who is actually the interview tonight. And out of the three interviews, we've got Brodie this week. We had Ali on last week and Marcus the week before. So one of those three is going to win themselves a grass little bluefin boat, Allicraft electric boat set up for the electric series. So looking forward to announcing the winner of that next week. We do have some other great news to go on the show next week. So make sure you're all watching to see not only who wins the boat, but what the next big thing or what's happening in that space. It's going to be very interesting on next week's show. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Don't forget, if you're out there and about and you want to win a nice boat, the bluefin boat there is the Bluefin Scoundrel. I'll just bring that up on the screen by itself. Central Victorian Lure-Casters are raffling a boat off. It's $10 a ticket. Make sure you contact them direct on Facebook. That's Central Victorian Lure-Casters. Contact them on Facebook to win the boat. $10 a ticket. Get your tickets in. I have nothing to do with the tickets, just helping them try and sell them. So that one there, don't forget to get your entries into that. Harry is in the comments. He has a 2-word jumbled word that'll be brought up throughout the night. The people that guess it, Harry will then pick one of those people to spin the wheel later on in the show. So be watching for Harry's comments. It's a jumbled 2 words, all right? It's not 1 word, it's 2 words, and he will put those in as the night progresses. So if you want to win Harry's wheel, you've got to guess the word and be on the show when we actually announce the show as well. So that's really cool. I had a delivery this week. It's always cool to get deliveries by people who watch the show. Kyle Hipsley, thank you very much, mate. He sent up some special soft plastic. So I'm going to show you these things here. This is a postcode prize tonight. So this is really cool for the postcode prize. A set of plastics, some perla colors there, the blacks and the purples, and that's going to go to the postcode winner tonight, and that's donated by a fan of the show. So that's really, really cool. I'm really looking forward to giving them away tonight. I have pulled a couple out for myself because they're actually perlers. So looking forward to that later on the show. What else have we got happening? Just check my notes. Junior Ambassador interview later on, which we're going to do, and then Adrian Wilson, we're going to get him on right now, and we're going to have a bit of a chat. So I'm going to count him in, and we'll see if this all works.
Hey, mate.
G'day, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good. Yourself?
Good. Thanks for coming on at reasonably short notice. I was actually going to have Bill, our last year's winner, on, but he's gone away camping this weekend, and I thought who more appropriate than to get the man himself, the tournament director of the ABT Bass Electrics, on to have a chat.
Mate, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Now, you've had your first crack at tournament director situation this year, and we were talking off air, and one of the things that you've said is that you've had a fairly poor year for yourself fishing-wise, because in the ABT Electric Series, the tournament director does fish in the comps.
Yep.
But, there's something that you've really learned out of it. What's that?
Mate, it's just taking on the experience of seeing other anglers, and especially newer anglers coming through the ranks. Like I said to you, we had a tournament out at Barumba, our last qualifying round, and young fella there by the name of Sam Lauritsen. I think it was his third event in the ABT Electrics. His first time to the dam, and he took it out, mate, and he was just absolutely pumped. I was pumped for him. It was really good to see a new guy coming through, especially a young fella, wanting to get into the sport.
So that comp itself, I mean, for anyone out there that is looking for a great comp that's not only just well run, it's good fun, it's cheap to get into. It's as cheap as any other fishing sport.
Yeah.
I mean, you can set your boundaries in an electric comp the same as what you can in a Bass Pro if you really want to put two sounders and fast electrics. But in the sense of things, you can whack out there in a tinny with a bow mount electric on it and have a fat time, can't you?
Oh, most definitely, mate. Well, I've probably spent a ridiculous amount of money on my own boat. It's insane, but it doesn't make me a better fisherman or anything like that. And I'm not using the tournament director as an excuse for my poor going this year. It's just, mate, I've come around now. I'm maybe not as hungry as I used to be, but to see what's coming through it just blows me away. It's good to see, and I get probably just as much of a buzz watching these guys win as if I won myself.
Yeah, for sure. And I can relate to that. Through doing the ambassador program last year, I got to meet, some wonderful people. The top 10 were all brilliant. We got it down. We couldn't choose between the top 3. They all joined the group anyway. My son's been in the group. So we started a great little bluefin fishing team and doing the ambassadorship. But this year, it's just taken a step to the next level. Having these kids that are basically the future of the sport out there and telling us their stories and what they're going to do, it's just made me, in a COVID time where you can think poorly of everything, it's really made me happy. And we're going to play Brodie's interview here in a minute, but it's really made me happy to listen to the youth today. They're not as bad as what we make them out to be.
No, mate. Mate, I suppose they're all good until they find women.
Yes, true. So
fishing's a great sport, mate, and it's a great equalizer. You don't have to have elite fitness. You don't have to have the best gear, mate. You just got to have a hunger and a drive to want to go fishing. It's as simple as that.
Yep. No, that's it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put you in the green room, get you back in about 30 minutes to answer any questions. So you've got about 20 minutes, guys. Put your questions in that we can ask you about. You're a bit of an expert around those Southeast Queensland corner dams yourself. Anyway, I've watched a lot of your videos. You love that surface bite. So if anyone's got any questions about that Southeast Queensland corner, we can answer them later on in the show. We can also answer any Bass Electrics. We've got some big announcements towards the end of the show. But I'm going to put you into the green room, mate. I'm going to play this video of Brodie, the interview I did during the week for his ambassadors program. Goes for about 20 minutes. So have a look at the young kids of today and what they've got to produce. I'm really loving talking to these 3 finalists, and I really don't know who I'm going to pick to win this. So let's see how we go. All right, mate. Put you in the green room, and I'll talk to you later. All right, so we better get Brodie up, and I'll get myself out, and we'll play this interview. As I said, it's made my month to be able to talk to these young kids, and the future of fishing's in a really good spot. Don't forget, while this is playing, Harry's got his word spelling through. First couple of people to guess it will go into the draw to go on Harry's wheel. All right, let's get this up. G'day, everyone. As I said, pre-recorded interviews. This is number 3 for the Yellowcraft Brand Ambassadors Junior Program, and we have Brodie on tonight. It has made my month to be able to talk to these 3. It's just been absolutely brilliant to see some young kids really with a bit of drive behind it, and I want you all to meet Brodie tonight. So I'm going to bring him on and say g'day. G'day, Brodie. How you going, mate?
Hey, mate. All good. Having a good time here.
Yeah, well, we'll let the cat out of the bag first. We have crossed paths in the past. We've been able we have camped together, and because
very intimate relationship, me and him.
Yeah, because Maddie, because you travelled with Maddie and you're from Toowoomba and all that sort of stuff. So we've had the crossover. So I'd like to get that out in the open first. But you've still got to jump through the hoops, mate, like everyone else, and we'll get onto it. And I'll start asking the questions. You ready?
Yeah, all good, ready to go.
Hey, for all the people out there that are going to be watching the show, tell us a little bit about Brodie McNeish.
Well, I'm Queensland born and raised. I was born in Brisbane, raised in Toowoomba. Found my love for fishing at a very young age, going around Queensland with my grandparents in their caravan. I believe that truly sparked my passion for it. What truly got my passion for lure fishing going was my ability to fish a charter with Matthew Langford. He got me started on it, and I think after my first fish on the lure, on bass on the lure, I was hooked. And here we are, 4 years later, doing a few competitions and just trying to do my best out there.
Look, it's a good person to teach you how to catch stuff on lures, Langers. So I think there's a lot of people now through that southeast Queensland corner that are, we're thankful for Langers for taking them out on the charter. They're taking that next step. We'll go and we'll just keep, as I keep saying, punching through the questions and get all your answers and put you under the pump as much as we can. So what would be your top 3 attributes that make you the best person for the apprenticeship role?
Well, I believe one, first off, would probably be my passion for the sport, obviously. Of course, I have, like, everything I do in the sport, like, I love. I can't stress enough how much I try to learn new things every time and just really do my best out there to try and one day be on top, I guess. The second attribute probably would be my ability to soak up information from people, say you guys, your team, and just use that in a practicality sense.
Yep.
I guess I can convert very well from, like, learning something and then doing it personally. I can learn very quickly, so that's another attribute. And I believe my third is just I want to sort of inspire more people to join the sport. So I'll of course really want to get out there and show people, hey, this sport's really amazing. We should get as many people to do it as we can, and just really sort of drive home what bass fishing is all about, or the sport is generally in ABT, or if you want to do other sports like the lower stuff, like the Bass Tactics or stuff, like all of them are fantastic. So I believe that we should get as many people doing it as possible, and I'd like to help with that.
That's awesome. Awesome stuff. All right, we'll keep going. What has been holding you back from taking the next step within the sport? I mean, I know that you've co-boated and you've just sort of got into it, but what's been the biggest holdback for you at the moment?
Well, definitely not having a craft of my own is probably the biggest drawback. Co-boating's fantastic and all, but I really want to take that next step into fishing and trying to win comps or help learn comps on my own and sort of get to know what it's like to fish competitions on a solo sense, or even with another boater, another angler, or just really get into the next level of that. That's probably the only reason I can't progress.
Yeah, and like, you won't sell yourself. Like, it's my job to sell you, but you've had a successful first campaign, COVID affected second campaign. So for the people out there that don't know you, how did your first campaign go?
Well, so I started ABT comps for bass. Was it last year? It was only 3 comps. So we had St. Clair, I believe we had Wivenhoe, and then Somerset. So St. Clair was my very first one, which I ended up coming 4th, which was fantastic. Had 2 really good boaters to make me learn a lot and just really put me out there for that first comp. So I managed to steal away 4th place. The second comp was a bit rougher, but I guess that was a generally tough comp. So I did learn a lot from that, just figuring out, well, not every comp's going to be going my way. You know, you really need to sort of figure out, well, hey, it's going tough for everyone, but maybe you can sort of figure out something you can do that will put you on top anyway.
Yep.
And I believe the last comp, Somerset, I had Paul Aldous and Sean Falkenhagen, both great anglers of the sport.
Yeah.
And I just managed to, with Sean Falkenhagen, just managed to get a couple of really good quality fish and put myself on the top. And then with my contribution to fish in the second day with Paul Aldous, I managed to steal away the win. It was fantastic.
So a win as a Cowie, you know, that's just great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. And then, of course, like the AOY at the end, I won that as well. And that blew my mind. Like, I didn't expect, like, to win the first year. Like, I was thinking, like, if I do this for 3 or 4 years, I might be able to get something out of it. But the first year, it was just incredible. So
now the hard work begins. Sure. Where do you see yourself now? This is a 3-part question. All right. So where do you see yourself in 12 months' time, in 5 years' time, and then well out into 10 years' time?
Well, so first off, 12 months. If I can get this ambassadorship, I would really like to get my YouTube channel going. Now, that's a goal for a lot of us young people out there these days. But I sort of want to be, like, I have a very large ambition to, like, eventually go to America. So for my first year, I want to just get it all established, get as much, you know, subscribers as possible, try and really sort of grow myself. And then probably by 5 years' time, I'm hoping to be maybe going over in America and collabing with some of those big YouTubers would be amazing for me. I'd love to go and fish all what they have to offer, even go to other places. Like, I'd love to go to Japan and see what they've got to offer. South Africa is also another big goal on my list, and possibly Europe as well. So I'd love to do all that. So I really like to hope that by 5 years' time, my YouTube channel is kicked off enough that I can be able to do that pretty comfortably. 10 years' time, now that's a long distance, but
it is for a young fella like you.
Hey?
It is for a young fella like you.
Yeah, that's a long way to think of. But if I had to have my dream, like, position, it would be well off in YouTube, able to do whatever I want and just, like, live every day how I want to. Just inspiring everyone all over the world, not just Australia. I'd love to become a big name fisherman in other countries as well, and just doing everything I can to inspire many young kids who were in my position when I was around this age or beforehand. So I believe that's probably my main goal for that sort of time frame.
Great stuff. I know it's hard, and the other boys have been the same. That when you're your age, 10 years is a long time. You know, in your life, but it's not really. It goes past that quick. Yeah. So you do have to be motivated to get through. Yeah, that's goals.
Right. You do need to act fast and just keep the consistency. Try as hard as you can. Don't give up. I believe that's the best way you can get to your goals. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. If given the opportunity to be the Allocraft Brand Ambassador's Junior Apprentice, what would be 3 achievements you would tick off at the end of 24 months?
Well, of course, my first one would probably be to learn as much as I can from you guys. Of course, you guys are the guys who are going to be teaching me everything. So I'd love to come out of it knowing a lot more in a lot of different fields. Like, I'm very confined to bass fishing right now. I'd like to branch off to other parts of the sport, just find some different species and just learn different things. Second one would probably be just fishing as many species as I can, trying to get as many different species done in those 2 years frame. And I guess my third one, of course, would probably still be to get my YouTube channel up to where I would like it to be by that time.
Yep, for sure. All right. So given your current circumstances, what could you commit to in time to be successful for the role, given that your age is quite young?
So basically, I'm very thankful for this. Because of my job situation, I don't have a very huge demand in a lot of things. So I do have a lot of free time. So at this stage in my life, I can very well contribute whatever I need to, whatever I'm asked to from you guys pretty comfortably. Of course, there will be times where stuff happens, but you can only hope that nothing happens, and you can always just contribute what you need to in time.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta look to the positive and not to the negative. And the positives, if you've got time, you'll be able to use it. If situation changes, then we work as a team and we work it out. That's 100% correct.
And that's basically how a team works, I'd say. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. What are your thoughts on loyalty?
Loyalty to me is basically a family, or the ability to stand up for to someone, or give support to someone who you care for. Basically stand by them no matter what. That's probably loyalty in a nutshell for me. I'm a very small family guy, and I'll do anything for my family, but I'd also do a lot of things for my friends as well. If they ever need any help or anything, I'm always there to help.
Yeah,
that's basically loyalty for me. Yeah.
No, excellent. All right, we'll keep going through because we've got to try and keep it under half an hour, and you've been answering these really good, so we'll keep going through. Given that this whole program was born from a Pay It Forward initiative, can you give me an example where you've given back simply for the feel good or the act of kindness?
Well, I'm the sort of bloke who doesn't. I'd give help to anyone who needs it, of course. I feel like my favourite thing to do is when I go out fishing comps, I always ask the boys at Fishing Bits, which is our local tackle store, if they need anything delivered or taken, or someone else needs. I did do a delivery for Jason Ehrlich down south when I went down there for competition. So I feel like that's just part of my way of contributing back. If anyone else needed something or something down delivered to them, I'd always bring it down to them. I'm always there to help. I'm always telling Chris at Fishing Bits, mate, when you're moving or if you're going somewhere, you need help, I'll do it, no charge. I'll get there and do it for you because you guys help me out a lot. So I believe that's probably my favourite thing to do is just give back to the sport somehow and just help people out.
That's exactly what we're after. Really is. But to an extent, just to prompt you and whatnot. And this won't go towards favoritism towards the end result or anything like that. But you have actually, I met you at St Clair on your first comp that you'd ever been to. You didn't know me from a bar of soap, and you lent me a car for the weekend to put my boat in and out, so I could leave my
I forgot about that. Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, things like,
I know for a fact that you are one of those people that you're actually talking about, and that's 100% true, mate. All right, we'll keep going because that was a good answer. Who do you look up to in the sport and why?
I think the first person I'm going to say. Of course, Matthew Langford's got to be by far one of the most admirable people I've ever met. Of course, I'm always asking for help or asking a question. He's always there to help me out. Especially like that first charter I did changed my life basically. It got my PT bass off the first bite of the day, and I was so ecstatic. That was incredible, and he's taught me so much over the years. He's always been there, so I believe he's one person. The second one, I'm not here to suck up, but I'd say it'd be you. I'm not sucking up at all, but it is true. You've taught me a lot too in St Clair. That first comp, while we were grubbing that tree, that was awesome. I know a lot of people are like, oh, grubbing's terrible, but I enjoyed it. That was a really cool thing to do. And then more recently in the Clarence River, you got my first bass on the skirted jig, and you know how excited I was. You were telling me to be quiet. I'm just ecstatic over the moon. That was the best thing I've ever done. I was so happy because I've been trying so hard to get it. So I guess you would be another one.
Thank you.
Of course, everyone I meet is got a sense for me is got some special place. I've learned a bit from each one. So if like everyone I've met in the competition really sort of been a sort of a role model for me
Yeah, for
on the
sure.
do's and not to do. So
Yeah, for sure. And that's the way it's got to be. I like that attitude because you're going out in their boats and you're co-boating, and sometimes you get some say and sometimes you don't. But you're always learning something off them. And if you're not out there trying to learn something, there's no point being out there, is there?
yeah, well, I think like from my experience, even if the boater you have, if you ever struggle with him or you just don't, he rubs you up the wrong way, you don't look at it like that. Don't think, oh, this guy's terrible. Like, sort of look more at it like, well, think of it how I'm going to learn from this. What's he taught me in the end? So that's basically how I think. I sort of say, hey, maybe it was a sucky day on the water, but he did teach me to do this one technique, so I've got to respect him for that.
Yep, for sure. For sure. You're not going to get everything out of everyone, but if you can try and take the best out of it, it's always
just take one note. If it's just one, that's extra, That's another thing towards your goal.
All right. What are your top 3 target species and why?
Oh, damn. Murray cod definitely on the top of my list of most sought after fish. Been a bane of my existence for many, many years. Just because when I started getting into the cod fishing side of things, my waterways around me were very in a lot of drought. It was a very sad environment. They were pretty much died off. So only just now sort of come back, and there's not a lot of fish happening, and I'm not that experienced. That's definitely number 1 on my list. Number 2, definitely barramundi, another bane in my existence. Ever since I was young, I've been out a few times. I've hooked one once and lost it. So definitely something I'm willing to get out there and try again. Number 3, I think would definitely have to be Saratoga. And this is like in the immediate future. So Saratoga definitely, because that's just another cool fish I've been wanting to do. I have a lot more, but of course you just asked to freeze, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
Oh, no, yeah. Look, if
I tried to mention it all, it'd end up you would be here for an hour. So
yeah, for sure. Because you still then got all your overseas species. Everyone's been on the show talking about black bass. Mine is Florida tarpon. I want to get to Florida.
Oh, that's a big fish and like really big tarpon, bigger than what we have over here for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Where's your favorite place to fish and why?
Now, this is what I did look at this question, and I have I don't have a particular favourite spot. Now, my favourite spot would be a new location, if that makes sense. Now, I love the feeling of going somewhere new and trying somewhere new every time. Like, of course, I have my favourite place to fish each time of the year, but everywhere I go is just fantastic. Like, even if I don't catch anything there, that just means I've got to come back another time, try again. But new places always just really, really fun. So I'd say just somewhere new.
Yep, awesome. Most memorable fishing moment?
Memorable fishing moment. It'd have to be my very first bass in the lure. Would definitely be the most memorable moment of my life. That was awesome. I think my throat went hoarse after that day because it was just such an ecstatic moment for me.
And what lure did you get it on?
I believe it was a slow black.
Yep.
I think it was a orangey, dark orange color. Yeah. I have the fish. I had this fish on a mount in the other room.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. That's awesome. Now, being a sponsored angler is a great achievement, but does come with some responsibilities. What do you think are the 3 main things a company look for?
Well, of course, they look for someone who's going to stand out. Advertisement's a huge thing for a company. So they're going to want someone who's going to be able to deliver what they need and get people to notice their products. I'd say the second thing would be they're looking for someone who's willing to do the work and commit to what they want. A lot of people, they may do this sort of stuff, just wanting what the product is, but not wanting to do the work. they want someone who really wants to deliver on what they promise. I believe I'm one of those people. Of course, I love doing the sport, so I'm not going to just turn my back on the people who gave me the opportunity. A third thing, that number 3, I'd have to say someone who's loyal to their cause. Can't have someone who's saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do this," and just sort of turn around and do the opposite, whatever they want. You just sort of got to commit and be loyal to them as a brand or a sponsor, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, mate. That's awesome. So we've got through the questions. We've powered through the questions. Now we have one last question. It's called a situational question because it puts you into a place and we want to see what your reaction is like. Now, with the situational question, you haven't seen these questions. Like we've pre-sent all the other questions. You haven't seen this one. So it's a off the head answer for you, which you've done pretty much so far anyway. So I've got about 5 of them here. I'll find one. If you were successful in becoming the junior brand ambassador, explain one thing that you believe you would bring in to implement to ensure the success of this program.
Okay, so one thing I noticed when I was applying for this ambassadorship was the lack of applicants. Now, I believe if I can showcase this program, say, hey, this is a really good opportunity for a lot of people, I believe that next time it comes around, it's my time to pass it on to someone else. We'll have a lot bigger body of people who are saying, hey, this looked really good. This guy had a lot of fun. Let me do this. And I believe you'll have a lot larger selection next time than we had this time for sure.
Hey, that's a perler. Well done. All right, bro. Thanks for coming on tonight. It's been a really good time chatting with you. Is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before we go, or anyone you want to thank?
Personally, I'd like to thank my my grandmother. She was the person in the first video that I did for the sponsorship. She helped me out with that little skit that I did for the married bass I was doing. That was really good of her. Also for giving me the camera to be able to do that. Big shout out to her. Big shout out to the team, the Bluefin Fishing team for doing this. It's a really good opportunity for a lot of people. All the sponsors as well. Thank you for contributing your little part into the mechanism. That really helped. And thanks to you for putting me up on this show. It was really great.
No, excellent, mate. I wish you all the best. And we've done the first 2. You're the third. I can only say that you'll have to wait for a week or so while we decide who's going to walk away with the prize. But don't just keep fishing, mate, and having fun.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. It's going to be very interesting. There's a lot of those the other 2 contestants are looking really good as well. So I'm just hoping to see what they'll bring to the table as well. Fantastic.
Yep. Excellent, mate. All right. Thank you very much. We'll get back to the show now.
No worries.
G'day, everyone. G'day, everyone. There we go. All right. I don't know what you guys were doing when you were 21, or like in the case of Alion and Marcus at 17 and 16. There's no way I could have done this. We do make everyone jump through a lot of hoops, and it's just magic to chat to people. That's the third. We've got to pick a winner out of those 3. But I'm going to get Adrian back on, and we're going to keep talking about everything else and ask his opinion of the interview and see how we go. All right. Get the buttons right. I really need somebody behind the scenes pressing the buttons because I'm chaos on the computer.
All right, that was good. That was a good interview.
Yeah, no, he's a good young kid. I mean, all 3 of them are. So now we've, like we did last year, we've got to go back. We've got to re-watch, re-listen, spend the week trying to decide before the big announcement next week. Next Monday night, we'll have all three of the boys on the show and get their reaction like we did with Bill last year. You know, we had Bill and Kevin on the screen, and when we announced Bill, you know, the excitement on Bill's face and the you know, the, I don't know what you would call the look on Kev's face last year, but you know, it was sort of, yeah, it wasn't a disappointed look. It was you know, it was a happy for Bill look. So
yeah, oh mate, I'm glad I don't have to make the choice.
So you've seen all three. We talked before the show. I mean, you know, how's that for kids? You know, we see a lot of kids out there, and you're in the industry. I'm in the industry. We see a lot of people out there that just want everything for nothing.
Yeah.
They want to post because they've got 500 followers on Instagram. They want to post up and they want friggin' a free boat for it. You know, these kids are actually done the hard yards. We had other entries as well, which we had, you know, we had to cut it to a top 3, so they've missed out. So hopefully they'll reapply in years to come. But this is a rolling thing. We're going to do this. It's a 24-month program. One of these 3 guys is obviously, hopefully, fishing the ABT comps next year. So will you be able to help them out?
Oh, most definitely, mate. Most definitely. Whoever you decide on the apprenticeship, mate, we'll take them under our arm and, you know, try and teach them whatever we can. Like, they can, any one of them can come to any of the boys that fish the tournaments, and they're you know, more than welcome. We'll have a chat with them, try and lead them in the right way.
No, that's it. Now I've got to do the postcode prize just so we can give that away tonight. I've got to go back and find it because it was a difficult spelling from just want to make sure I got it right. Let's have a look. I'm going to bring it up here. So I'm hoping that's Darren Locke, and the W is silent because I've got no other way that I know how to pronounce that. But Darren 3049, you're the postcode winner for tonight. So as I said, Kyle has given us dropped it off to me front door. There's a set of beautiful soft plastics here. There's a full box of them actually, so it's really cool. I don't know if I can put that up to the camera there. And pearlers, they'll work on yellows, bass, and cod. So Darren, you're the winner of that. What you need to do is send that through to me. Send a message to my Corey's Dam Fishing Facebook page with your address and details so I can post that off to you this week. So Darren's a postcode winner. Harry's been behind the scenes. We picked a really hard word for everyone because the last 3 weeks, everyone's been guessing it nice and early. So we picked a hard word, and we're sort of going to run out of time before he gets fully through it. So I'm going to give another hint away. It's not only a fishing question, it's a fish. So that's the hint for you if you want to scroll back through the comments and go through those letters and see if you can work out what the actual fish is. So we'll go with that one for you. Darren's saying I've got it 100% right. It's locked. So there you go. The W is silent. Always hate it to get them wrong.
Congratulations, Darren.
All right, mate. So you've had your first run at tournament director and doing the ABT Bass Electrics. You've got hopefully with everything going sweet, where we're looking at the Oz Open still going to go ahead at Wyaralong
this weekend. So we've only probably got about 8 entrants at the moment, but I expect that to jump up by about another 10, which is pretty standard for an Oz Open, whether it be bass or brim. You know, It doesn't draw big numbers, but it's sort of like it gets the guys that are, you know, super keen or cashed up a bit. That's all. Yeah,
and it's 100% payback too.
It is.
You know, Morgo puts all the entries back into the payout, so it's a good payout, and you know, it's just great fun, great event, even better venue for an electric series. I mean, it's probably one of your better dams, isn't it?
It is, mate. It is. Although, like, I've been spending a fair bit of time out there over the last couple of weeks. It's a strange dam for a bass dam. It's a really weird dam. Like, these bass, I've been fishing the dam pretty solidly since from about 2016, and I still can't work it out fully.
Yeah.
At this time of the year, they should be biting their heads off. It's still a little bit slow. And the last couple of years, I've sort of like been keeping an eye on the water temperature. And when that water temperature hit a certain temperature last year, they went ballistic. And I don't know if we're going to get to that temperature, but we've got a couple of thunderstorms coming through later on in the week, so that might trigger them. Yeah, I'm still getting fish out there, but not the quality and the numbers that I would expect for this time of year.
Yeah, for sure. We've got a winner in the word by the looks of it, and well and truly well before everyone else. Looks like I can't even pronounce the word, but it is Murray cod for the scientific name for Murray cod. So Brad Penner was well and truly first for that one, closely followed by Jeremy Campbell because he had a bit of a typo. Scotty Gullick was up there as well. So yeah, look, we're going to give Brad Penner the spin of the wheel because he was definitely the first person there to do that. I'm going to put you back in the green room just so we can spin the wheel for who to say Brad. What Brad needs to do is just write in the comments that he's still online, still there, and he's got to say spin the wheel, Harry, so we know that Harry's going to spin the wheel. We've got a quick question we will do just before, while we're waiting for Brad to write in the comments, because a question has actually come through from Elion. What's your favourite Bass Electric Dam in Queensland?
Oh, mate, it's a toss-up between Hins and Warralong. It's just a seasonal thing. Like, they both fish well at times, but Hens is punching out more 50s than I've ever seen. Like, you know, I fished that place for a long time before I got 2 50s in one day. And when I talk 50s, I'm saying fork length, not overall.
Yeah.
But like the quality of fish coming out of Hens at the moment, or that has come out of Hens, is just insane. But you know, Warralong, when this bite comes on at Warralong, it's going to be next level.
Oh, that's awesome. It's one of those dams. You know, if BP could keep water in it, it'd be the best bass dam in Australia. I'm sure of that. But they have that water issue, and I think it's down to 6% at the moment. So Brad's replied. He wants Harry to spin the wheel. So I'm going to put you in the green room, mate. I'll get Harry on, and we'll do the spin of the wheel. All right, Harry, are you there? Oh, who are we tonight? I can't see it. Oh, look at that. You pluck a duck.
Yes, I am.
The original pluck a duck. That's where the wheel come from. We were showing Harry some videos, and that's where the wheel come from. So you're doing the pluck a duck. Hey, Harry, Brad was awesome. He got we didn't think anyone would get the word tonight. So Brad got the word early. And we're going to try and get him a prize. So do you want to spin the wheel without cracking that egg, please?
I think I should give it a spin, and I hope I don't crack this egg.
Rightio.
Okay. I'm opening it. Oh.
Don't forget, that's my breakfast. All right, who have we got? Harry, who's the winner?
We got Allocraft.
Allocraft, there you go, Brad. So it's a Corey's Dam fishing shirt. I've got multiple size. I've got a few sizes left there. So when you send your message to Corey's Dam Fishing Facebook page, I will send you out a shirt, hopefully in the size you need. So thank you very much, Harry.
Is this the correct shirt?
No, it's not, but that's all right. That's the one, the Corey's Dam Fishing shirt. That's the shirt. So I've got a few sizes there. I will send that out to you, Brad, this week. Just send me your postal address and your size, and I'll try and match it up. So thank you very much. Didn't crack the egg, Harry. Go and put that back in the fridge for me for brekkie tomorrow.
Your breakfast is in my hands.
All right, mate. Love you.
Okay. Bye. Love you all, but not in a romantic way.
Rightio. Bye.
Egg.
All right. We've cut him off early because Right, there you go. The old plucker duck.
That's cracker.
The plucker duck. I'll have to get him the plucker duck suit, and we'll turn it into a big thing next year.
All you need is Dickie Knee now.
Yeah, well, that's what I've tried to explain Dickie Knee to him a couple of times. I said, if I put him in front of the camera here and he just faced me, he could pop his blonde hair up all the time in front of me. It'd be quite funny. I see they're advertising a 50-year reunion or something for Hey Hey Saturday, so that's how old we are.
Bloody hell.
All right, I need to go over a couple of things before we get to the end of the night and cover off any last questions. I see there's a couple of your mates might be in there having a shot at you. We had Darren Locke won the postcode prize 3049. Darren, you need to send me a message to Corey's Dam Fishing so I can send that out. That was donated by Kyle Hipsley. Harry's Wheel was run by Brad Penner this week, so you got the fishing shirt. Make sure you put your fishing size in there as well, and I'll try and get as close as that as I can. I'm running short at the end of the season for shirts, so I'll try and get the closest size for you, but I will communicate with you guys. Tony's asking a quick question here. How many batteries Adrian needed for a day's fishing at Wyaralong?
Mate, Tony knows. I run lithiums, mate. I can get a full day plus on my lithiums. I run Enerdrive on my front motor and Invicta batteries on my back motor. I can run faster and longer than what I could ever do with AGMs.
Yep,
Without a
sure.
doubt. And still come home doing 100%.
And the weight's out of the boat as well.
Oh, most definitely, mate. Most definitely.
So, starting at the bottom end of the scale, you talk about Bass Electrics. And as I said, you can get out there with a little punt, with a little electric up on the front, and you can still get out there as long as you've got a live well, you're following all those rules.
Yes.
But going to the top end, some of those boats that are coming out of Europe, Japan, Korea, and they're fully insane what they're producing with electric stuff now, isn't it?
It is. Like, I follow a lot of the stuff in the States and whatnot. And like their John boats over there, they're long, narrow things, but, they get up on the plane so easy. As where ours are, obviously shorter and stubbier boats, a lot more draft and shit like that. Pardon me.
You're right.
it's just, but yeah, what's out there is incredible.
Like I'm seeing stuff, and as I said, I love the electric series, and I fully support it as much as I can. And with this program, we're going to support it even more. But I watch a lot of the stuff through Europe because Alocraft is huge through Europe, and they're the biggest selling brand in Europe and through Europe of any boat. And some of those smaller, John boat style, electric boat style, what we call the P series.
Yep.
They've got electric motors on them that are getting them on the plane.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
And that's all. They're not allowed to have petrol motors on some of their
Damn, Joe.
Yeah.
Reservoirs, whatever they call them.
Sorry,
yeah, it's a sport that's growing quite big in the States. It's I probably don't follow it as much in Japan, but what I follow in the States is it's just blowing out. So many guys are going back to electric motors or electric powered boats from their fuel powered boats.
Yep, and for sure. And with the I suppose the last maybe 3 years, really, with the pickup of lithium and what you can do, everyone raves about the price differences. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the lithium batteries of old we couldn't put in the boats because the battery management systems weren't good enough. If they did short out, it was a definite fire. Whereas over the time, they've improved that battery management system, which basically looks after the health of because as we know, an AGM battery, if you've got them, a lithium battery, if you've got them in your power drill and you're using the drill, at the end, they just stop.
Yeah.
So if they short out, the old fashioned ones short out, they just keep melting. Where now they've got these U-Butte battery management systems in them, which has improved that they're safer in the boats, but you're not, it's like you said, everything you've got, how much weight you put in that boat puts pressure on the water, which creates drag. If you're taking that out, you're getting less drag, so you're getting more miles, everything with it. You can go faster, you can go longer, you can go harder. They're just great, aren't they?
Oh, most definitely, mate. Like I on the weekend, I probably would have done probably close to 30 Ks just looking around. In my pre-fishes, I always go out like probably doing about 7.5 Ks.
Yep.
And I'll fish until late in the day, and then I'll punch home, and I can still push 10.5 to nearly 11 Ks on the way home, which would have been unheard of years ago. Like I would have been crawling home at that fishing for that long. And some of the things you read, like, you're running your batteries at 100% and whatnot. I've never had an issue. I've had the Enerdrive for over 3 years now.
Yep.
I've probably had it on the low ranch trolling motor for about 18 months. When I fish a tournament, I'll run it at 100% to wherever I'm going. And then I'll just take it easy for the rest of the day and then 100% back. Like, I always used to fish to the death, but now that I'm running the tournaments, I've got to be
home early,
stuff like that. But mate, it's just they've just changed the way that I can fish. Most definitely, unbelievably.
I've got a couple of last questions here we'll have to do before we go. As I said, we normally only do the hour. We've just ticked over the hour, so I'll get the last few questions done. Kevin said, how do lithium-ion batteries go in the hotter environments up there in Queensland? Obviously, you're not having any problems in the...
No, Kevin, like I said, mate, I've been running an Enerdrive for 3 years. I've had the Invictus for probably about 6 months. Obviously, I've still got to test them out, and we'll see how their longevity. But that Enerdrive that I've had, I would have gone through 2 sets of AGM batteries in the time that I've had that Enerdrive. And that battery's paid for itself by now for me.
Oh, for sure.
For the amount of time that I'm on the water and whatnot, it's paid for itself. Just reading a message there from Nikki. What I meant, Nikki, is the more weight you can get up the front, bury your nose to get your back out of the water, gives you less drag. So, you want to get all the weight out of your boat, but you want to get weight up the front of the boat, but make sure it's safe.
No, that's it. And got a big shout out from the old guru himself, Simon Goldsmith. He's giving you a thumbs up for your commitment to the sport and dedication. I couldn't have said it any better, mate. You've done a great job. We will be supporting you as the Bluefin fishing team next year. We'll be sending as many people as we can. As I said, one of these junior ambassadors is going to win the perfect boat next week on the show, and they're going to be able to attend your comp. So
hopefully we can show them a good experience and show them a bit to help them maybe progress if they want to go that way later in life.
Well, that's it. They can either stay there and enjoy themselves. They've got the boat for 2 years. They could jump on as a Cowie in a ABT Opens or something else if they wanted to. Yep. But we really want to support the electric series with this boat. That's what it's designed for. A pre-made boat ready for electric series, it hasn't really been out there on the market. Everyone's had to make their own. So we want to get these out there. So really looking forward to that. I will hopefully catch up with you when I'm finally allowed to get into Queensland, because I'm looking forward to having a beer.
Just make sure you have your needles before you come, eh?
I'm all vaccinated. I'm ready to go. I've done it all. I'll go in for a 3rd, 4th, and 5th jab if I have to get in. But I will do whatever it takes to get in. It's been a long time since I've seen my family up there, and really, really looking forward to it. But thank you for being on the show tonight. I'll just go over the last things before we do. Marcus Hope, Allion Clutie, Brody McNeish, you'll all be on next week, and we'll announce who's going to win the boat. There might be just that little bit of a lead in. There might be something else that we can do next week that's going to be absolutely amazing. So for you three, I would get all your family on there to find out what's going to go on next week for the top 3 for the electric series. I hope you get those numbers at the Wyaralong Australian Open. Looking forward.
They'll come in.
I'm looking forward to seeing the results for that. And hot off the press, I have to say it is 9 o'clock on a Monday night, but hot off the press, while the video is playing, I actually got an email. The Australian Freshwater Fishing Masters has been cancelled for this year, which is such a disappointment, but I understand why. So looking forward to that coming back again next year. It's been running for 25 years. One of the best comps down here going around, 3-species comp. And they've just canned it for another year. So that's the Australian Freshwater Masters has had to pull the pin on this year. So it's unfortunate, but Hey, sad note to leave the show on, but thank you again, Adrian, for coming on. I hope you're on
Thank you,
next week
mate.
to see who wins the boats.
I will. Cheers, mate. And good luck, boys.
All right, stay on the air. I'll log off and I'll talk to you when we get off.
Cheers, mate.